Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Scrub Zero. Eh, shout out to um, shout out to people in the StreamYard last night on Jose's channel, Sucks Jose Rodriguez, and welcome to HDTV. Yeah, it was fun. We saw a good bad game. Ravens and Raiders. It was sloppy. It was entertaining though. A very dramatic late, but both teams got to be better. They got to fix their problems and then not making playoffs. It was fun to see though. But those teams got to be better. Last night in StreamYard, we ended up talking about some stuff. One of the things that came up was the younger generation and just their lack of willingness to do their history. There's lack of willingness or just I think it's lack of willingness. I think it's also just not enough, in my opinion. It's also some of that falls on the older guys not really connecting to the young people. But really, it's on us. We got to do a better job of understanding not just what we're dealing with, but why we're dealing with it. How did we get to this point? We got to be more accountable in things that we're involved in, because what I end up seeing, I've fallen victim to it too, is that a subject comes up, we talk about only what we see, and we don't really do the work to check how it went before, how things were going before, why we were able to do the things that we were able to do today. Like with sports, you're talking about, like T mentioned now he was on Tickets channel. Shout out to Ticket TV. But and some other young guys that didn't really that he mentioned who are your top point guards, and you got people saying Stephen Curry and Dame Lillard and all that, just the people they've seen, but or like even Magic Johnson, but no one brought up or even knew who Tiny Archibald or Earl Pearl Monroe were. And that's just one of those things we got, like, we as young people, if we really want to talk about these things that have been going on for a long time, well longer than we've been around. We got to do our research. We have to take accountability and put in, not just talk about just what we've seen, but stuff we weren't alive to see. Doing that research, going back to the archives, because there's a lot that you see back then that was going on, and then you don't see it now. It's not just also learning what happened, but why things happened and why it changed from then to now. Like, and I get it. It's looking at history. It's not exactly fun. It's not sexy. It's not the thing happening. You get in an internet age where in just minutes you get flooded with all this information. It's a lot of information. I keep track. I keep trouble. Damn, I have trouble keeping track of everything. Like, I had it. I had plans on what I was going to do for a video today, and I'm like, damn, I can't remember this shit. I can't remember exactly where I wanted to go. I mean, this was something I wanted to do, but this wasn't exactly the first thing I wanted to do. I actually was going to do a recording, and I was thinking about doing like 1 or 2 recordings and just putting it up later times in the day. But what ended up happening is I woke up yesterday at like 4 p.m. I stayed up the whole damn time, like from that point to the game, doing the StreamYard with Jose and HD and them. Then once it was time for me to get, usually I'm like about 9 o'clock. I'm in bed. I'm asleep. I'm setting up. I'm doing that so I can get up and go to work for like 3 o'clock, 3:30, and I just stayed up the whole time. Got through the day, but it that takes a toll on you. And I came in, I ate, and I fell out. I was like, damn, I wanted to do this, but I had to push it off because I was just so fatigued and just needed to sleep. I got a little sleep. And that's why I'm like, I could have been like, maybe I won't do anything, or or just BS around, like, And I was actually working on something that I saw Cino live. Shout out to Casino for Life. And I'm like, you know what? Let me listen to what he's saying. And then I said, you know what? Fuck the recording. If I do one later today, I'll make sure I'll put it out. But I'm seeing people around me putting in work. I'm like, let me not. How am I going to say I'm going to put out a video and I put out nothing? So that's why I came out with this live, because it was just something that was on my, something I felt I wanted to talk about, and here we are. I'm talking about it because that's the kind of guy I am. But we talk about back to the taking accountability thing. And actually educating ourselves, improving ourselves. I see it's not everybody. I see a lot of people around my age that something happens and it's like the whole world's caving down on you. It was like it just gets to your head, and that's why you got to make sure you associate yourself, the people that you're surrounded with. You surround yourself with people who hold themselves accountable, who will hold you accountable, who are on that grind, who's going to do what they do, and you need a bit of everything. But each person got to do what's best for them. For me, I know I need to have guys. For me to be most effective, I need to make sure I'm surrounded by people who are about it. They don't necessarily have to be nice. They'll rub people the wrong way. That's fine. I'm cool with that. Like my man HD, he said he's not for YouTube, and I got my friend. He says not everyone should not. You shouldn't be for everyone, and I fully agree with that. You should not be for everyone. If he catches, he knows what I'm talking about. You got to be okay with you got to be okay with not with saying no and being told no. You just got to be okay with people who are not going to like you. Listen, I don't like a lot of people. I know people don't like me. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to lose any sleep over someone who doesn't like me. Listen, you don't deal with me, I'll deal with you. Is what if we cross paths, we keep it cordial, and then we keep moving. That's it. Because you gonna do you, and I gotta do me. If I get upset, and I just hold on to it, it ain't hurting you. You going on with your life. That's on me. And that's one of the things we as this generation, people around my age, and the kids and the youth coming up, we got to be better. You gotta get yourself around people who I'm not just talking about people just gonna talk down to you and not try to be understanding, but people who will call you out when you need to be called out. When you actually need to be picked up, they'll pick you up. make sure you surround yourself with people who actually, even if they're not necessarily trying to make you better in and of itself, they're not they're how they move, how they're vibing. It'll be like, all right, you'll understand that it's not about me. It's not about. Damn, I'm stumbling on my words. Not really okay. I'm gonna do this until I get it right. You'll understand that they're doing them not to not to be dismissive of you. They're not being dismissive of you, but in them being them, you'll honestly see, you'll pick up like, nah. And if you really picking up on it, and you surround yourself with the right people, they'll be like, nah, this person is. They'll gravitate to you. They'll be like, all right, like, hey, I see you doing this. You if you misstepping or something, they're like, all right, hey, I think you should do this differently. Here's why you should do it differently. Here, like, you can do it like this. Just be mindful. These are the things that can potentially happen. It's that communication. And one thing I noticed with a lot of us, our level of communication. Not, like I said, not every, not all. If it don't apply, let it fly. But our level of communication at times it's a joke sometimes. It's not even worth calling it real communication. And that's what it's going to be. We got no business. We really got no business complaining when things turn sideways, because you had the opportunity to communicate. You didn't communicate, and had you in a situation like two people, like one person does one thing, someone else does something, and it conflicts with each other, and you got the two parties frustrated with each other. If you actually communicate, you can figure out, all right, what happened here? Why? How did you get to this point? What did you do here? What did I do here? And then you actually have that conversation. Don't shy away from it. I know it's not easy. I know it can be scary, but if you're really friends, if you're really trying to build the other up, that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. You'll actually be willing to push through that. It's because it's not going to be one. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to understand it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. That is okay. I'm not perfect. I don't portray myself to be perfect. I'm screwing up right now doing this live. And it's all good, because that's just life. We got to get out of our own way in that regard. You have to communicate, not just with the people our age, but our elders. We got to communicate with them. And I'm not just talking about people who are older than you. I'm talking about people who have the knowledge, who have the wisdom. And if you show that you're willing to gain that wisdom, you communicate with them, you talk to them, you try to understand how they got to the points they are. That's when then they'll be willing to, like, oh, okay, and some of it's on the others too. Like us young people, especially when you're really younger, like kids, they like they're looking for anything to stimulate them, and if you can't stimulate them, they'll look towards something else. Which is why you really gotta give them something productive to do. Don't just leave them fully to their own devices, because their kids are curious. They'll go every which way in doing something, and you do gotta let them make their own mistakes. But you gotta have enough of an eye on them, and make sure that they're not going off the deep end. They're not doing something that, and if you do catch them, and you explain to them, hey, there's keeping it age appropriate, of course, but you explain, hey, can't be doing this. There's a reason you can't. This is the reason why you shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna make sure I got something for you to. So and spend time with them. I've been hearing from a lot of people on YouTube, like Kwame Brown and Garcia for Life and HD, that like the family dynamic. But you gotta be more together. We have to be willing to be more together in our homes and even our communities. We're way more isolated than we should be, which is why a lot of things are where they are, because we isolated ourselves so much. We don't understand the importance of coming together. We just think coming together is just gathering in a group or just having a conversation. It's not just that. You actually have to come to the table with something. Like you have to, you got to provide something, some type of skill, and everyone got something they can do, but like something that complements what we all trying to come together with. If we really trying to work together, we gotta do these things. We gotta come with something that is productive, that person A can person A's like, if we talking about, well, just anything, like person A, all right, we talking about music. Person A can sing. Person B can do instruments or whatnot. Person C can do editing. And you got people with different skill sets, but you can blend that together to create something beautiful. And we gotta be willing to we gotta stop being scared. It's being scared, and we gotta overcome that. There are things that people are scared of, and that's fine. It's understandable, and I'm not gonna knock anyone for that in and of itself. But as far as communicating, coming together, it actually dealing with tough things that if you get through to the other side, you'll see you'll get all the benefits from it. That's what we got to stop being scared of. What I see a lot of is we see like entertainers and athletes and whatnot. We see, and it's all the glitz and glam. It's the shiny thing, but we get enamored with that, but not the substance. We're not enamored with the substance. We're not enamored with the process. We're not in love with the process of actually being great. We just want to be great and think you just snap your fingers and man. And some people, you get like that instant success and you blow up, but you also got to have that substance, because if you have that substance, then if things for some inexplicable reason or explicable reason go south, you've actually built something that you can fall back on. You can actually say, all right, no, I have this. All right, it's not working well here. I can go another direction. I can take this a different way and still get to where I'm trying to go. There are times you will have to just bang against the wall and push through. And there are times you got to be smart about it and like, no, let's go around. There's no need to go through. If going through is really just not happening, go around. Yes, we got to work hard, but you got to work smart too. We got to work a lot smarter. I got to work smarter. I got to work harder. There's things I got to do better that I'm working on. Some of which I've been lacking. Some of which I'm actually slowly getting better with. But if you really want to see the fruits of that labor, you gotta put the work in. And that's where taking the accountability comes in. Something happens, it's still your, like, let me put it to you like this. As I work today, a situation came where things that out of my control happen, and I'm working through it. But it's still but I still have a responsibility to do everything I can to get through it. to do things within my power to not make it worse than not make it absolutely go all to hell. And are there things that I did today that I could do better? Of course, because I'm not perfect. I'm always looking to better myself. Like each opportunity is an opportunity to get better. Like we could strive. I'm striving for better. I'm perfect. Ain't something I'm going to get to, but I can get better. I know I can get better, and that's something I'll look to do. Whether it happens in a big jump or just a one step, I'm trying to get better. But I know I did. There are things I know I could do better. Looking back on it, there are things I didn't during that situation. I'm like, all right, nah, that was good. That was something I should have handled. So I didn't make it worse for myself later on. And it's a good thing I did do some of the things I did, because had I not done some of those things, I would have, man, it would not have been pretty. Let me say it like that. But I got through it, and so some of it wasn't ideal. There's things that are in the situation around that things that are higher than me that I don't even mess with, but things that are closer to my level that I can communicate with people around me, like, hey, these are things we can go about it XYZ. Hey, this didn't necessarily work out. I know I took notice of that. Let's try to do something different next time. And that's how you got to go about it. You got that's the accountability. I could have kept my mouth shut about it. What would I have done? I would have just been upset. They would have been coming to me like, what the heck happened? And then I could have exploded. But like, nah, and of course it gets heated because it's physical labor and it's some chaos, but you actually had that communication during that time, and you have communication after. So that way you don't, there's a situation that can be avoided the next time something like that happens, you end up avoiding it before it becomes that kind of problem. And that's where you gotta take the accountability. Like, I could just be like, man, everyone's no one else around me's holding up in this situation like that. Like, man, F this, like, and part of me is like, yeah, F it, but I'm not going to just let myself get buried because of things that were out of my control. Let me do what I can with where I'm at, and whatever else happens after that, we'll address after. So we got to be better. I got to be better. And if you think that there's nothing you can ever get, if you think you max out and you gotten everything you can out of a situation, now there's certain situations like, hey, you like, just, it's time to move on. But like, if you're just saying, no, I'm perfect, then that's it. No, that's you really fucked up. You really fucked up at that point, and I can't help you after that. You on your own. Honestly, you just on your own. But for me, I'm just looking to do things to improve myself in my job, in my home life, doing YouTube. Like, quite honestly, I don't know if I thought I would get to this point actually showing my face doing lives. Like, if I was, I didn't think it would be now. Some of it is I'm like, man, I don't, but why? Why am I scared to do it? Just do it, and what happens, happens. If they say, what if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. That's okay. And everyone got their own way of doing things. This is my way of doing things. I'm not going to be apologetic for it, because I'm doing what I feel is best for me. And if in what I'm experiencing, I can give another perspective to a person or people, and they can take it and they can better themselves in their life, then that's what it's about. Like, I don't need to be tearing people down. What up, Jose? I see you. Uh, I see you, boy. Yo, the stream yard, the stream yard was popping last night. That's that was wild, man. All that craziness. Shout out to my man CX Jose Rodriguez. This dude, like you talk about someone who does what he does, and regardless of what happens, that's a guy. Go subscribe to him. He always putting out something. He about it. It's my guy right here, Jose. And everyone that was in the stream, that was in the panel last night, and the chats too. That like that's what it's about. Like we could talk football, we talk sports, we talk smack, but we also bring up some real life stuff in the mix, and people and everyone gets something positive out of it. And we talk about someone's shortcomings. It's not to bash them. It's not just to say, hey, it's not just to pile on and be disrespectful. It's like, hey, these are things we see that can be done better. No problem, bro. You're right now. Like these are things there's things they can do better. And hey, you got to take accountability. It's like you have a turnover, you can't have that. Like, because that hurts your team. And if we trying to win games, you can't be shooting yourself in the foot. But yeah, man. And that stuff was fun. Let me see if I can all right, there we go. There we go. I gave you the wrench, Jose. You already know how we do. But yeah, just we take accountability, be responsible, and understand that there are things that are happening that you can do better and that you can take control of, that you can utilize. You take, whether it's positive or negative, you can utilize it to your strength. You can make it work for you. Much like people talk about making their money work for them. I still got to work on that. That's something I want to get. I gotta up my game on. But energy is the same concept. Whether it's positive or negative, you can take positive and negative energy and turn that into strength for yourself. Make your life better. And that's how you got it. That's how we should be doing it. Like and listen, there's people in the world. There's people that's just going to be cold and they're going to hate. They're going to try to destroy. I don't agree with those people, but I understand that this is the world we live in. It's something you gotta take, the good and the bad. Like I'm one of those people that like I understand. I'm not just gonna absorb all the bad and just be like and just internalize it, but I understand what comes with it. I can take that and turn that into something positive. Positive, I can continue building and bring more positivity. And even sometimes you being positive, it's not necessarily positive in an area that I can utilize, and that's okay. Someone else could utilize it. But we gotta keep ourselves up. Accept accountability. Understand that hey, there's people in your life that some of which they're like you might have to just maneuver around until you could get them out of your life, because that's how it goes. Some you just got to cut out altogether. Some you got to do better and actually reach out to them like, hey, this is like, and I got to do a better job of that. I have a few people in my life that I don't reach out to enough, I don't talk to enough, and I got to do a better job of doing that because they've always looked out for me. They've had my best interests at heart, and I got to make sure to do a better job in showing how much I appreciate them, how much they mean to me. And that's what it is, man. Like, Now I'm getting all emotional. God damn it. It was easier while I was talking about football. But yeah, man. That's really about it. I might pop up something later. If not later, I'm gonna do something tomorrow. I'm gonna at least do one, whether it's a live or a recorded video. I'm gonna do one a day. If I can put out more, I'll put out more, and we go from there. I didn't do one yesterday. Yesterday, I let the time get over, like get on me, and then I knew Jose was doing his live, and we was gonna do the StreamYard and all that. So I got to do a better job at managing my clock, so I can be on my grind and do what I do. But even with not putting out a video yesterday, that doesn't mean I wasn't productive. That doesn't mean I didn't do something to make myself better. And like, you don't have to do something necessarily every day, but do be productive, even on a day off. It's a day off, but it's still not a day off, because if it's a day off of one thing, I'm still working on something else. Even if I'm just resting, it's not a day off because I'm actually working on things to enhance my rest and all that. But that's me, and it's something I wanted to bring up. It was on my mind. I brought it up. I would be doing this. I'll be doing my first StreamYard on Thursday when the Giants play the Washington football team. So I'll be screaming my head off. You go hear me just yelling at the New York Giants and they nonsense when they effing up and they make a play. I'll be like, all right, that's what we talk about. But yeah, it's been fun. I enjoyed doing this. If you like, leave a like, subscribe, comment if you like what you're hearing. Shouts out to everyone. Jose, my guy, HD, Kwame Bound Bus Life, because a lot of how I got to this point is partially because of him and his influence. So shout out to him, Self Talk, Carcino for Life, Gravity Takeout, Hollywood Detroit Tea, who else? Chris Cervantes, AJ Graves. Oh, go AJ, I'm about to listen to your music after this. Yo, go subscribe to AJ Graves. AJ Gravez. He got some music out on his channel. He a cool brother. That music's straight. I'm really get listening to it today. He be doing his thing. And a bunch of other people who I probably not remembering right now. I'll get better at this, but shout out to you guys. Shout out to the people who've been supporting me since the beginning, whether it be on here, my real life, whatever. I appreciate y'all. And until then, Scrub Zero, I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side.